She had always been captivated by horse races, perhaps because their characters were alike. She raced her inner self towards an undefined destination. Somehow, she could not remain calm enough to settle down. Constantly in a hurry, she suffered from a lack of time to accomplish everything she wanted or needed to do. A mysterious force compelled her to ride through life restlessly, as if life were a spirited mare. An inner voice buzzed in her head, pushing her to speed along the rugged cliffs like a destined doe. A friend invited her to the students' bar, and she accepted the invitation to escape the heat of August. A simple desire to feel cooler motivated her, but curiosity was an additional factor. It was her first visit to a bar, and everything captured her attention. The dim light glimmered off the walls, and fish tanks reflected gray particles illuminated by tiny bulbs. The atmosphere was charged with the sounds of laughter and loud conversations. The air was thickened by a mix of smoke and the foam of beverages. A rock band added a powerful bass rhythm to the ambience. Still, she noticed an unusual lightness in the atmosphere brought by the students' presence. She took a seat next to the bartender and ordered a drink just to fit in with the other customers, as she had no intention of having a real drink. Gradually, she began to join in the conversation with a friendly group of young people. The next day, she returned to the bar, once again without ordering alcohol. Most of the time, she listened to others without interrupting, only responding politely when asked a direct question. After visiting the students' bar a few more times, she got along well with the regulars. Nevertheless, she felt like a stranger, aware that she didn't truly belong there. Despite this feeling of being an outsider, she persistently returned to the bar whenever she had some free time. She had no idea what force kept drawing her to that place. She was sipping orange juice while her friend joked about philosophy. He sounded as dull as a TV newsman, and she wished she could tune him out. Instead, she focused more deeply on her orange juice. Sitting in a sluggish state, she was suddenly jolted to attention by the sound of a guitar. In that instant, everything else seemed meaningless. Though she couldn't see the stage from her seat, she remained still until the last chord faded away. Afterwards, she peeked at the bar reflection in the mirror. The guitarist was as tall as an NBA player. His back, representing an impenetrable wall between him and the audience, was turned toward them as if he meant to guard his privacy. She sent a message to the musician, not truly expecting a reply. It was a short thank you note for playing her favorite composition. She prepared a smile in case he glanced her way after reading the note, secretly hoping he might play the tune once more. The guy stayed motionless until she had to leave. The next night, the bar was particularly noisy. The girl took the same seat near the bartender, with her legs dangling over the floor and tapping in time to the music. As soon as the first chords of Back to the Machine began, she knew the guitarist was back. This time, she largely ignored him, as she found herself caught up in a competition between the bartender and a guy she recognized from before. The contenders were busy building a pyramid out of crystal goblets. Later, they would fill them with a drink and try to empty the glasses quicker than the competitor. The contest itself seemed foolish, but it was hilarious to watch. A tranquil smile lingered on her weary face as she observed the scene at the counter. She leaned on her elbow, regretting the time wasted on such a pointless activity. Lost in her thoughts, she barely noticed when someone took the seat beside her, partially shielding her view of the show-offs with his body. The girl looked at him, and the guitarist smiled friendly, slightly nodding his head. She mirrored his gesture.
A Pink Floyd fan, eh?
Yeah, I am.
They are the Kings.
Both of them smiled, sharing a moment of mutual passion.
What about Kurt Cobain?
She asked, her hazel eyes lighting up with curiosity. She was focused on the profile of the singer that stretched across his t-shirt. She remembered that after reading the Newsweek issue dedicated to Cobain's suicide, she hung a pin-up of the same photo in her room. The guy picked up the guitar resting on his knee and strummed the string several times before he began to sing. If he had kept his eyes open, he would have seen the delight on her face. He sang until the bridge, then paused and played the main theme again. When he finally opened his eyes and looked at the girl he had just met, he saw the overwhelming seriousness on her face, and he laughed out loud.
Man, I've sold the world.
She thought his smile was much cuter than his laughter. His voice can spellbind, though, she thought, and smiled back before asking him,
Whom have you sold it to?
The guy sang again, and she felt the melody wash over her like warm waves. Something untold and powerful connected them abruptly. As his voice reached her soul, they both realized they had become one.
Gosh, you hear me?
He exclaimed, quitting his song and grinning at her.
Don't stop.
She whispered so quietly that he could only read her lips.
There's a lady who's sure all that glitters is gold, and she's buying a stairway to heaven.
Once more, the music transformed into a passionate cascade, drawing them both into a more benevolent world.
With a word she can get what she came for.
She enjoyed his pleasantly, deep-toned voice, while he simply felt proud of the miracle he had created.
Buying a stairway to heaven.
This is how they had accidentally crossed paths.